We tried to look into where much of these guns came from. I will say the serial number on most of them were obliterated, so it's very hard to track a lot of those.
Guns, fentanyl pills, thousands of dollars in cash. That is what investigators found on a local teen multiple times within the past year or so. And tonight, there's some serious questions as to whether his punishment fits those crimes. And that is because tonight, the 17-year-old is not in custody. He's at home where he can remain just as long as he stays out of trouble.
Prosecutors argued to have him serve time because there's much more in his history that we'll go over. But instead today, Judge William Parnell settled on 2 years probation.
Cassie Foote talked to a prosecutor who didn't get anything close to what she was looking for. Cassie, the teen also had a violent run-in with investigators and also had equipment to make ghost guns.
And that is just partly why Bernalillo County Assistant DA Kristen Gwynn says the teen is without a doubt a danger to our community. So the decision to put him on probation is disheartening. And if he'd only been 2 years older, Gwynn says there's a good chance he'd be spending the majority of his life in prison. You're looking at nearly 6,000 fentanyl pills, along with cocaine, guns, and a high-speed pursuit which ended with a crash. But all that does not add up to get the local teen responsible off our streets.
If this was before a federal court and he was an adult, the sentencing structure would put him away for the majority of his life.
Wednesday, Judge William Parnell sentenced the 17-year-old in question to 2 years probation. Frustrating for Bernalillo County prosecutor Kristen Gwynn.
Obviously, he's on probation. He's going to have oversight. There is going to be a juvenile probation officer assigned to him, but that is largely the extent of where it goes.
Gwynn says that sentence is for 3 cases. The first came in July 2024 when APD found guns, fentanyl, and $6,000 cash in the teen's car. Just 2 months later, he sped away from a traffic stop.
He was running lights, he was running signs, he was passing people on the shoulder, eventually ditching the vehicle to take off on foot.
In that car, police found more of the same, a whopping 6,000 fentanyl pills and ghost gun parts. 3 weeks later, BCSO deputies finally caught up with him, but he didn't go willingly. He crashed into a deputy's vehicle and still tried to get away.
Yeah, he's trying to spin out. Let's get one more up for the front, pinch his front, and then one more on the sidewalk.
Take a guess what deputies found in that vehicle. The teen spent several weeks in a juvenile detention center after his arrest and was released to go to a drug treatment facility. Just enough to get him back home tonight.
Since the respondent complied with Sequoia, complied with treatment afterwards, had stayed out of trouble to this point, that it showed his willingness to engage, that he had a family who was willing to support him, and it was their belief that that would essentially balance out the harm done.
Now, Gwynn fought for the maximum penalty for the teen under our state's children's code. That would have been 2 years in juvenile custody. Gwynn says the teen pleaded no contest to all his charges, including possession with intent to distribute. Tessa, Trevor.